Be seated. Good morning. The word an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth is so popular in Israel because this is part of the law of Moses that when you committed a crime, example, you kill a man, that man has to be killed also. If you disable a person and his hand can no longer be used, then your hand, as a penalty of that, your hand has to be cut off or your eye has to be taken off from your body. So what you owe is exactly what you're gonna pay. And Jesus gave a interpretation of the law of God, not based on our usual human interpretation, because Jesus is the image and the sacrament of God the Father. And the very image of God, since from the very beginning, is love. God is love. That is why Jesus is love. And he said, if you heard before the word an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth, but I say to you, offer no resistance to one who is evil. When someone strikes on your right cheek, you have to offer the other side of your cheek. Bapa sabihin saya, kung laparohon ang imong tuo, nga aping, ipalaparo po ng wala. Kita ko ka ng slapping contest, di ba? Sa kuan, nasa movie or sa nasa TV, di ba? Kanang puli-puli laparo ba? Unya, mostly, dili ka na makabalos og laparo, kay makuya pa naman ka. No? Kaya ang imong chi mo is connected to your, na part na connected sa imong brain, nga once na disconnect na siya, then you will pass out or you'll collapse. So, but Jesus said, gitugot na siya tungod sa kagahi sa atong ulo. Some other laws before nga wa exist, pero na-exist na siya sa time ni Moses. Even the law of divorce. It's not actually God's heart or God's design. But God allows these things because of your stubbornness, because of man's wickedness. O tungod sa kadaghan sa balaod, naghimog laing balaod, and the world became what? Complicated. And Jesus wants to dismantle this old law, the law of hatred, the law of vengeance. But he rather instead says that when somebody forces you to carry for a mile, make it 2 miles. If someone would brought you to the court, bring you to the court because of your tunic, give your cloak. If someone wants to borrow you, give it freely. Kani lisod din siya maigsoon, but this is the way how Jesus conquers the world. He conquers the world without firing a single shot of any weapon. But he conquered the world through love. Because, to be honest, the very nature of God since the beginning of time is love. And Jesus is the sacrament of the Father. Jesus is love. And he wants to conquer the world through love. We cannot do all these things if we do not have love. Because the very essence of love and the very characteristic of love is sacrifice. If we cannot sacrifice, we cannot say that we love. So maigsoon, gugma yun. Madaog nato ang dautan. Dili nato balusan ang dautan sa dautan, but we can conquer the world. We can conquer evil, and love can cover all the multitude of sin. That's how Jesus conquers the world, through love, through humility. Please stand.